Matthew was a youth who come from Kingston. Never see my street yet without him gun. Create mischief everywhere that him done. Say him run the place, the place, the place. Me talk to the youth and the youth never hear. Tell me him a shatter, I know him no care. Who him a go shoot, from who him no fear. Say him laugh the spear, the spear, the spear.
Him never see the trouble ahead. Never see the trouble ahead. Never see the trouble ahead. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Never see the trouble ahead. Never see the trouble ahead. He never see the trouble ahead. Oh no,
I know everything teeth a laugh. What happened in a daylight spill over in a dark. Look how much you make Cain bump lead him a pass. Them say trouble never set like rain. I talk and I talk till me mouth live pain. Match your meaty match in a sudden ambush by the cops. The look on his face speaks volume. His eyes were staring, bulging wide, as his body language froze like the Statue of Liberty. The explosion was deafening as he cried aloud when the last breath vanished by death. Trouble was surrounding Matthew, but his naked eyes couldn't see it. So think before you make your next move, and not do what Matthew do. Matthew gone. Matthew gone. Matthew gone.
Him not come back.
Matthew gone.
oh no, oh no, oh no.
Him perish. Much badness in that cherish.
Him never see the trouble ahead.
I'm tired with talking.
Never see the trouble ahead. Never see the trouble ahead. Oh no.
Listen to me.
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
In that day, right that day.
Never see the trouble ahead. Never see the trouble
Matthew, why you
ahead.
have to do this?
He never see the trouble ahead. Oh no, oh no.
Matthew was a youth who come from Kingston. Never see my street yet without him gun. Create mischief everywhere that him done. Say him run the place, the place, the place.
I talk to the youth and the youth never hear. Tell me him a shatter and how him no care. Who him a go shoot from, who him no fear. Say him lock the spear.
He never see the trouble ahead. Never see the trouble ahead. Never see the trouble ahead. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Never see the trouble ahead. Oh no. Never see the trouble ahead. Oh no. He never see the trouble ahead. Oh no, oh no. Oh no.
He couldn't see it. He never was to see it. And them tell himself not do it. None get a coffee, get a read.
No, no.
And he got 6 feet deep. 6 deep.
Greetings, Sapase Navale, Hola. Welcome to an exciting feature of Reggae Mountain Ira Times TV, the evolution of dub poetry. I'm honored to be your MC for the program. My name is Malachi Smith, and of course I'm one of the founding members of that group, Poets in Unity. Some people call it a reggae band, a dub poetry band, but we're actually a group of performance sports. So what is dub poetry? Well, dub poetry is a unique art form that is part of the whole synergy of reggae music. In the 1600s, the English settlers settled off Sierra Leone and in the Gambia River Basin of West Africa. They began having relationships with the natives there, and once the new inhabitants came along, out of the African tongue and the English tongue, the people deliberately decided to create their own unique style of language or talking, right? When slavery came along and the slaves went to Jamaica, out of that we developed this guy's mode. It manifested itself in the form of dread talk, Rasta talk, dub poetry, DJing, and we have rap now in the US, reggaeton, the whole 9 yards. So all of that came out of the oral tradition of West Africa. Now dub poetry, the whole terminology of dub poetry, started by Linton Kwesi Johnson. Of course there were writers prior to Linton. We had like Claude McKay, who was writing in his native Jamaican tongue years before. There's Bongo Jerry, who also some atheistics, some purists say, wrote the first dub poem. There's also Miss Lou, who were forerunners. But it was actually LKJ, Linton Kwesi Johnson, who termed it dub poetry. Okonura, at the same time or simultaneously, was also experimenting with reggae music and poetry in Jamaica. So we credit both of them as being founders and godfather of present day dub poetry. So what is dub poetry? So it is the taking of the written, say the English, and mixing it with the African, the oral, the griot tradition, the storytellers. Now, in addition to that, what we put into it, we infuse music. So we dub out things and we dub in things. So we have the call and response. We have the theater. We have the dramatics. We have movements. We have sound, where the poets at times use their body as instrument and actually create the sound. And that's where the flexibility comes in too. The dub poet also is more scripted. So it's actually a poem, whether it's written or one keeps on saying it over and over in one head and develop a pattern. As against a DJ who just walk in a session, picks up a mic, hear rhythm and start DJing over it. Man take killing, ton sport, taking lives like cracking jokes, hanging up with trophies in a them heart, blocking the sun from them thought, in a them heart, pay bloody meditation in a them heart. Rise up early upon me earth day, giving thanks for my blessing. Turn on the radio for catch a lick of vibes when the news some yard hit me hard, hit me hard, hit me hard. The news some yard hit me hard. Record number of murder through the sky. Gunman in control, that is no lie. People know better, don't even bother try. For the system, batter them down. For the system, batter them down. For the system, batter them down. For the music, them a play. I fan the flame and the dance, them a dance. I do the same and the bullet givers now feel no pain. So they make shot rain, make shot rain, make shot rain. Cause inna them heart, pay bloody meditation inna them heart. Every slackness is niceness. From a barn I never seen nothing like this. Children disrespecting all ahead. Pan the beat, everybody red, more lion than sheep. Mother band them belly and weep, and a weep, and a weep. Cause inna them heart, pay bloody meditation inna them heart. Inna them heart, pay bloody meditation inna them heart. Me I tell you no long time. For we did done see the sign. Come together and place a bell round the cat's head. For if we continue like at this, all are we dead. For we empower them when we're afraid, make we come together, one pound, one back to back, and launch an attack, launch an attack, launch an attack, and take it back, take it back, take it back, take back with freedom, cause inna them heart, pay blood the meditation inna them heart. So the dub poet actually would be written. You'd write the poem, it has its set rhythm that occurs at a particular time. It has symbolism and all the other aesthetics of poetry, right? And when you see, for argument's sake, some dub poets ride rhythm. I am a good example of somebody who's very flexible when it comes to riding rhythm because I did some DJing prior to start recording my poetry. So I have that background. In addition to that, if you were to listen to like a Oko Onura, he's an excellent person who does not necessarily rides a rhythm, but the rhythm is created around what he's doing. So the rhythm colors the poem and it enhances the poem. A good example would be something like Reflection Red. So he's not concerned about the rhythm of what the musicians are doing. He's doing his poem. They are following him. They are coloring him. So he'd say, and the beat well read, and the scene well dread, and the man them a loot and a shoot, and the fire burn and the blood that run, right? And the musicians would be coloring. So now if you come to a Malachi or LKJ, I say something like, you know, I'm a victim of the damn blasted system. So you have a set rhythm pattern. Or LKJ, in one of his poems, Sonny's Letter, will be talking about a particular incident where it's rush hour and the police accost this person and the beat down. So he's in narrative form, and here you'd be coloring him. So him say, you know, it was like rush hour, blah, 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 blah. The police come up, and then he says, let me tell you what they did to Jim. Let me tell you what them did to him, right? The coloring stops, and he jumps into the rhythm. Them lick him in the chin, and he started to spin, and then lick him with the button, and then and then drop, and crash. And then he goes back into coloring. Now often, so a DJ would have difficulty doing that, transitioning as easy as the poet does. In addition to that, the poet can walk on any stage, and I did it, and Sting and other shows where the musicians are playing around, and you just go out there and you just do your poem and light the place, right? The DJ, to an extent, would have challenges doing that. He needs his rhythm to toast on. So you have a lot of flexibility. So that, in a nutshell, is what dub poetry is. Call and response, the African griot tradition from West Africa, married with the narrative, the English, the European tongue. They come together, they clash in Jamaica, and we created dub poetry. So this is all about the evolution of dub poetry, and my first performer today will be none other than a dynamic, exciting young poet that we had the opportunity to meet 2 years ago when we did the Jamaica Poets Tour Festival. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome, I give some love to the one, the only, the wise one, Wise Word.
Energy of the sea. It was by the sea where I found collective energy, listening to the timely thunderous roar of waves, splashing, dashing as it crashed against the banks of O, and fizzed seemingly, slowly, surely, to repeat its cycle. It was by the sea where I twiddled my toes in the sand and feel the freshness of the breeze as it lifts me from yesterday and propel me into tomorrow. It was by the sea that I see fishermen paddling with overnight catch, weighing on scales of time, and large vessels creating ripples as they sail with cargoes of uncertainty to sink us into the abyss of darkness. It was by the sea that I see gulls hovering above like warplanes, having a bird's eye view, ready to dive into its prey with beaks of weaponry and pump a stomach like an overfed child. It was the energy of the sea that raised my courage to combat negativity. Now me see what them a plan to cut down man in a Babylon. It was the nature of the sea that surrounds me, speak in tongues of silence and allow me to smell the fragrance of the raw, tid sea. Yes, so greetings to the open world. My name is Wise Words, and I must tell you that dub poetry right about now, in the new renaissance, I came into this time and I give thanks because ones who were there already have embraced me and I feel good about it, you know what I mean? It's not everything that you're going to as a fresh foot, so to speak. and people just welcome you like that. You know what I mean? So I give thanks. Well, as I say, wise words, and the name is spelled Wisewurdz. Yes. And I'm a son of St. James, Montego Bay to exact. You know what I mean? And I came into Kingston in 1984. And I remember when my mom gave me $20 as a matter of fact. If you know the red paper $20. Yeah, all the Jamaican people them know the red paper money. The youngsters them now gonna know that something like Gambia them time. And out of that $20, my bus fare was 15. So you know, say it's quite a while. You know what I mean? 1984. Never forget that. So I came in Kingston and I take up a living job. Yeah. And my work was to clean up kitchen and bake, cook and decorate cake and all of that. So I learned that kind of skill. But music was always a passion of mine. I never see myself as a poet. I wanted to be a singer, sing-J, DJ. Right now, I probably be the first poet J. You understand, you know? So I started to do the dub poetry because I really love it. And I was writing from a long time. I used to write songs, yeah? But when I realized that I really don't have the singing quality and the DJ, too old for me too old for to take up DJ. So I decided that I'm not going to leave out the music just like that. I'm going to take up poetry because I've seen where the spoken word have done wonders to people. So I decided to go into the spoken word field. And in 2014, I recorded my first professional poem, yeah? And it was a tribute to Trayvon Martin, where it was a scene in Miami, Florida, where I think somewhere in Florida. Trayvon and Zimmerman, that case there, yeah. So I wrote my piece dedicating to Trayvon Martin. And when I went to the studio, the engineer asked me, a long time I do this, man, and I said, no, it's my first piece. The man said, you must stop tell lie, man. Go run at the box and go record. And I record the piece, and boy, I tell you, everybody was in total amazement. And I continued. My next piece I recorded was a track called Why Prison. Some people call it If a Prisoner Come, We Take It Back. And this was in connection with the UK president at the time, our prime minister. I don't remember his name, but he came to Jamaica and offered us a prison. The man said he was giving us a gift, and a prison him offer as a gift. So I recorded that piece named Why Prison. Come here, I said you couldn't find nothing else. England has been perpetrating the slavery thing from how long? At them all we down, you know. You know what I mean? And you come offer with prison, so I never like that. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's how the thing began. And even now that track has never been put forward, but it has garnered a lot of energy, airplay, and all of that. And that's what helped to propel me into this time. You know what I mean? So I really and truly give thanks. Well, into the new evolution of dub poetry right about now. Yes, I really and truly rate and respect the elders them were there before and who welcome me as a man like Malachi Smith, where you know say a groundation man like Muta, Upo, Honora, you know what I mean? The great Muta Baruka and such alike, you know what I mean? And of course, right about now, Cherry Natural was been there, the Muma right now, yeah? Richie Innocent and stuff alike. So I give thanks, the people them embrace me. But I would really and truly love for my poetry to resonate with the youth them. If you notice, I kind of have a dancehall kind of energy. As I tell you, I wanted to be a sing-J, DJ. So I deliver my piece with energy, with venom. And it must resonate with the youth them because the youth them right about now need them kind of material here to wise them up because the youth them kind of stray and gone over one next side. And you see I kind of make them what go on right about now. We don't like it. So anyway, I could travel again. Yeah, Black History Month, right? And this piece is called Are We Free Yet? Because slavery is abolished and we look so smooth and polished. Because the chain no longer binds us together and we can roam in any kind of weather. Are we free yet? Remnants of our slave master still remains. When we struggle day to day and stress out the brain. When the sacrifices are made and nothing begin. Are we free yet? If you can live in big houses and the common man can't afford a pair of trousers. If you can travel to Paris and London and the youth of the streets feels abandoned, then are we free yet? Oh, it's a man's world. Who's gonna protect those innocent young girls who are being raped and strangled to death? Make mama sit down our doorstep and fret. Tears she cry as she watched her son gunned down and die. Cars we drive is a symbolic way of how we strive to accomplish a big job, and instead of helping a brother, we cast him aside to go shoot and rob. To be the CEO, yet them swindle the big door. Then listen to how me flow. Are we free yet? Are we free yet? When police are aiming guns at blacks and black communities, killing future leaders, killing our dreams, leaving blood stains on our jeans. But are we free yet? When the borders of Caribbean nationals are restricted from its own people, when the axe tax is chopping away at our salaries, causing our pride to fall flat, and pharmaceutical products fly from the shelves without wings, making bleaching cream the new solution to erode our blackness. But are we free yet, my people? When we fail to recognize who we are as a people, when we fail to see class and honor the past, like Walter Chizulu, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, from prison to president, Nelson Mandela. But I've got a dream like Dr. Martin Luther King, self-reliance like Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Yes, them I got tired to see me face like Robert Nesta Marley. Every man should have a plan, like Obama, Yes, we can. Them not free, you're not free, me not free, we not free. Are we free yet? Them not free, you're not free, me not free, we not free. Are we free yet? Are we free yet? Universal question. Yeah, man, and them thing that we ask, you know what I mean? And we don't seem like we are going to get the answer anytime now. Yeah? So we have to just continue the trend same way. And in our time, we have to do what is right. Yeah? So we march on again. Come back Jamaica. Now, as we said before, you know, Jamaica, they're on a pivot right about now where it's like the youth them out to topple this little place, yeah. You know what I mean? And of course, you don't know, so the corruption is melted and molded into all our one. So one side a pulse out, the other side a pulse out. We don't know who are the real. Well, I don't know what to say, and I'm going to say the wrong thing. You know what I mean? But this piece of name, Come Back Jamaica. Come back Jamaica, come back no man, where you gone so long. Come back no man, Jamaica you fi come back. You fi come back no man, Jamaica you fi come back. And you fi come back no man. Come back Jamaica, come back no man, and you fi come back. So you fi come back no man. I want a Jamaica that is not reflective of sun, sea or sun. Do I want to hear how the party shot? We drown my sorrows in a all sort of rum. But a Jamaica where cost of living not up it all like skyscraper building, and nakedness gradually become the in thing. Who is with me, Jamaica? Tell me the truth. I fed up, you fed up and take off like parachute? Why you say this place is full of pure problem, so you're gonna look money if you come try solve them? Jamaica, you know you're not easy. Ever since we gain independence, you turn we in a beggy town. Every country you catch your bow down and stretch out your palm. Make people turn we in a yes man. In the first place, you fail because you're still a hang on pan Queen Fractal. So Jamaica, you fi come back no man. Jamaica, you fi come back no man. Come back Jamaica, come back no man. Now where you gone so long, you fi come back no man. Come back Jamaica, come back no man. Jamaica, you're nice. People say a paradise. With me ackee and saltfish, breadfruit and rundown curry chicken and rice. But how come so much people there a ball? Breadfruit, backside, sugar cane, everything gone. Lord, this place ya mash up me head. When I no car crash, gunman left we dead. You know, see them take me for Mickey Mouse. Have Jamaica lean one side like Port Royal Giddy House. I tired of the hate crime, the rape crime, the scam crime, the damn crime. Jamaica, when you going to come back to reclaim your roots and wrestle gun crime from these troubled youths? For your sake and mine, Jamaica, take back your spot before we lose it. Because the only thing we got left is track and field and reggae music. So we are keeping in line with the Black history, yeah? This piece is called The Horrors of Slavery. And I recorded this poem on the Baltimore Rhythm. And you can look forward for it out there, yeah? I have a line where I said, don't remind me of slavery, and someone's me really and truly say about Rolandi. But wise words I think about when he said, don't remind me. But the horrors of slavery, when I think about slavery, people, believe me, it made me get cross and dark and feel like I want to do some things. You know what I mean? Because it was really horrible. Slavery was wicked, mean, and brutal. Yes, them angle we crucial. Them throw we overboard when the ship overload. Over we back, where the whip crack. Left marks of injury on my skin were black. And in crisis of death, there was no funeral. All my ancestors get was a mass burial. Them dig out a plot of land and bury them like dog. As some me know say slavery did hard. House slave, plantation slave, in the boiling sun them brave. Picture this, the black face from the black race being physically abused and has left us confused. How were women fondled and raped? Men were beaten, chastised and draped. From cotton pickers, cane cutters to the railroad track. Walk, bust your shot, mash up your back. You're doomed to persecution once you were black. The chain move gone from my brain and left with feet. But everywhere me turn, me see it. I hear the rolling of the brain chain. Cling, clang, cling, clang. Clickle, clackle, clickle, clackle. Shivering with fear, me still I look for the shackle. We had so many woes. How we survived slavery only God knows. Now we're moving from Negroes to heroes, counting checks with some 6, 7 zeros. From Mississippi, Tennessee, Africa, back to the Caribbean Sea. The voice of my ancestors echoes to be free. Let the spirit of my forefathers roam beyond the boundaries of restriction. Slavery has pegged us back, oh, so long. From henceforth on, let every man walk with undiluted confidence and be respectful of his own independence. So don't remind me of slavery. Slavery me can't forget. Not remind me about it yet. I just the horrors of slavery. The horrors of slavery are just the horrors of slavery. So we gone to the woman them, because we can't afford the woman them, you know, you understand? This is called the king man's love, yeah. I want to be your king man. Let me take you to a place where you truly belong. Hum you a note or sing you a song. I want to stand up in your life like a column wall. Soothe all your sorrows when we hear you a bawl. Provide you with hope when you cannot cope. Walk the journey till we reach the end of the road. I want to be your king man. Bones of my bones and flesh of my flesh. If I don't express the love, then what's next? I am your brightest light, your darkest night. You provide sun to me rain, yet stress to me brain. But if my financial reservoir runs dry, will I lose or will I gain? I want to be your king man. When the fabric of our love simply intertwines. When bodies collide and you tease me with the wine. From the scrotum to the womb, you bring forth life. Amazing woman, that's my type. I promise to protect you, never neglect you, occasionally upset you, but genuinely accept you. I want to be your king man. I propose with this golden ring, but would you flatly deny or your answer actually accept? I want to propose to share my last name. Some people lack the love code, so separation na make no inroad. This are no flattery, now break your heart like a crockery. As this long embracing arms seal our friendship in an envelope of love. Thank you so much, my people. I hope you enjoyed the performance. Of course, you know, say this has been the evolution of poetry. Yeah, dub poetry it is. And some new giants, some new warriors running out, so you can look out for them. Give thanks. Yeah.
Yes, man, the evolution of dub poetry is big thing, you know, because the poet has a unique role and the dub poets are social commentators. So we agitate on behalf of, we advocate on behalf of the oppressed and the dispossessed of the society. One of the important persons that in the dub poetry movement, in the early starting of it, was Claudette Richardson, right? Claudette Richardson, who she had a little poem that said, them a miss, them turn pretty this, what is this? Something to that effect. And she actually published a poem, right? She published a volume. So Claudette Richardson came before, say, Jean Binta Breeze. And this is the chronology we're dealing with evolution of it. And of course, at the drama school was where it was the Eden of where the art form really took root and grew in Jamaica. So there we had Oko Onura, the Godfather. We had Mikey Smith. You had my group, Poets in Unity, which was Tomlin Ellis, Chris Bailey, and Malachi Smith. Of course, Poets in Unity grew along with Anita Stewart. We had Calvin Mitchell and John Peter Sutton, Calvin and percussion, Peter Sutton and drum. Tammy Ricketts came after Dolores Robinson, Oliver Smith, Hope Blake, and a whole part of people came along. But that's how it started. Then after that, like Jean Binta Breeze came to drama school, became a huge dub poet, internationally celebrated dub poet and scholar. And you had other poets. Mata Humba was there. Now, you may say, how come I've mentioned Muta? Well, Muta wasn't part of the drama school scene. Muta was an older poet who was outside doing his thing. And it's very interesting. We were doing an African Liberation Day show at Zingfence Theatre in New Kingston. And Muta was on it, on the show. I was there too. And Muta was rehearsing prior to his show and was doing Every Time I Hear the Sound. So he was like, every time I hear the sound, every time I hear the sound. And they kept on saying it. Well, Cedric Iron Brooks, the late great Cedric Iron Brooks' younger sister, Itose Brooks, was in the audience, and she is a musician. She took up a bass guitar, and every time Muta said, every time I hear the sound, she would do. And he kept on saying it, and she kept on do. Well, the Outcast Band, which was a band of students from what is now UTech, University of Technology in Jamaica, were actually backing the show. So they were standing off one side, heard the nice phrase that the Tosi had generated with our bass guitar, and they basically ran on stage, roll the drum, and they pick up the rhythm. Well, then, like the next day, they went and they recorded Muta, Every Time I Hear the Sound. And that is real history. I was there. That is, I'm telling you. So Earl Chinna Smith, and they went, recorded that, and that became huge. So in essence, it was at the drama school where the drama school students, Okol Nora, Mikey Smith, and Mikey Smith was a special dub poet. He had this uncanny ability to walk into an environment. So Mikey Smith would walk into a market and would capture the sound of every higgler, every buyer, every dog, every cat that is walking through that space. That's how colorful his narrative is. Powerful poet. So it actually takes you on journeys. And I would just like to say, when Mikey Smith got assassinated in Jamaica, it's like Jamaica, the society that he's from, didn't know who Mikey Smith was. I remember we were standing in the amphitheater at drama school, and someone was dispatched from Jamaica House to come to Edna Manley College, Jamaica School of Drama then, to find out who was Mikey Smith, because they were getting all kind of calls from international media and the UN and other places about the assassination of Mikey Smith. So that's where our society is. They don't know about our greatness often until we're gone. But that was Mikey Smith, an incredible performer. And of course, my poet, I always say, is Oko. Even though I'm a poet and I'm well respected and lauded in my own right, I just love Oko. Oko's poetry to me is dub poetry, is like painting. And I always said, in 200 years or so time, if you wanted to see what Jamaica was like between 1976 and 1980 in a Jamaican context, you'd have to listen to Reflection Read. It's a painting. The beat well read and the scene well dread, and the man them a loot and a shoot and the bud that run, and some people just think about it. It's actually a painting of a period. And that's the power of the dub poet and dub poetry. So we deal with eVolution. On our tour last year, we had the distinct pleasure of welcoming a Rasta man to the tour. This, I want to say young man, yes, is the type of person who inspires a lot. Came out of trying circumstances. Matter of fact, had the opportunity of driving with him back from Bishop Gibson High School in Manchester, and it was relating his narrative and and his father's side and the whole 9 yards and stuff like that. So it's a powerful narrative. Now we use the suffering that he came out of, the discrimination, and he uses it in his poetry to inspire. We did a session at one of the high schools in Jamaica, and the boys were misbehaving big time when they walk inside there. And he was able to use his poem like a guidance to them, showing them how you can challenge yourself, how you can make yourself better, how not to go down the wrong road. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome none other than the Rastaman, Charlie Bubbles.
Irie Times TV, Black History Month special. Change your way you do things, change your way you think. Change some of your acquaintances and make some bigger links. Stop hanging around with people who I like the negative. Can do anything in life as long as you think positive. Change your way you do things, change your way you think. Change some of your acquaintances and make some bigger links. Stop hanging around with people who I like the negative. Anything in life as long as you think positive. Things me say real, not imaginative. The things me say true, me not tell you no negative. Most people love receive it, still them no love to give. Tell you all the reasons you can reach your goals, objectives. Highlighting the obstacle, sidestepping the positive. Aim for what you want in life, so check the way how you a live. Whatever your career, deal with it progressive. Youths you can make it in life, must always think constructive. Change your way you do things, change your way you think. Change some of your acquaintances and make some bigger links. Stop hanging around with people who I like the negative. Anything in life as long as you think positive. Me talk about where me going, remember where me been. Remember all the hardships and all the suffering. Remember before mama died, me saw her struggling. After my mother died, it took a while to take it in. Change your way me do things, do some thinking. Irie Times you know, you're not sinking. Change, positive thinking. Change, watch out for them system. Change, don't become a victim. Change. Change your way you do things, change your way you think. Change some of your acquaintances and make some bigger links. Stop hanging around with people who I like the negative. Anything in life as long as you think positive. Me talk about where me going, me have to remember where me been. Remember all the hardships and all the suffering. Remember before mama died, me saw her struggling. After my mother died, it took a while to take it in. Change your way me do things, do some thinking. Get a youth you know, you're not sinking. Change, positive thinking. Change, watch out for them system. Me talk about where me going, remember where me been. Charlie Bubbles, ear vibes in. Change, you better change the way you do things, change the way you think. Change some of your acquaintances and make some bigger links. Stop hanging around with people who I like the negative. Anything in life as long as you think positive. Me talk about where me going, remember where me been. Remember all the hardships and all the suffering. Remember before mama died, me saw her struggling. After my mother died, it took a while to take it in. Change the way me do things, do some thinking. Get to youth you know, you're not sinking. Change, positive thinking. Change, watch out for them system. Change, don't become a victim. Greetings, Irie Times, and this is my journey. You know, I began the dub poetry journey in 2005 when I left my job in MSc McKay and started the journey of being a dub poet and spreading dub poetry to the world. And in 2007 I made my first trip to Canada and did the International Dub Poetry Festival. And then I went back again in 2008 and did the International Festival of Literacy for Children. And I went on and did a lot of performances, and I also went to Trinidad and did the Roots Festival. And I performed in Jamaica a lot. Big up to Tria Life, Edna Manley and Jamaica Vibes, which is where I made my transition from being a dancehall artist into being a dub poet. And dub poetry is the vehicle that I choose to bring about the message of change to the youth, like bringing it, because the dancehall scene is like filled with a lot of negative message, and in order to get that positive message to the world, I think that it is important that we articulate it in a way that the youths can love it and appreciate it, you know. So Charlie Bubbles is one that actually, my motto is to empower minds and uplift youth. So I'm always doing things for the youths. Like when I was in Canada, I was doing workshops with the youths, working for the Harriet Tubman Community Organization and doing youth leadership program, going into communities like Jane and Finch and Hamilton and Scarborough, and bringing that positive word of dub poetry, of change, using it to create workshops to bring about that mindset that the people need to know that there's ways and means of creatively expressing yourself without putting in violence and resorting to a type of message that is not the way that life is brought in your mind, that is how it should be, you know, because our environment say that is how it should be, or that is how we were brought up and raised. So me being a person who born and raised in the ghettos of Grandspen, I decided that I wasn't going to do no more gun song or violent song, and I made that transition into being a motivational dub poet and bringing my message through dub poetry, you know. Inspirator International. Use your experience and get stronger. Don't sit around in regret any longer. Be careful how you use your anger. Let not the pain make you bitter, just better. Use your experience and get stronger. Don't sit around in regret any longer. Be careful how you use your anger. Let not the pain make you bitter, just better. Do you feel like you get in a fight, yet you know say you doing right? Is someone trying to hold you down for spite, yet you know say you doing right? Well, the Almighty put your purpose in sight, then He will give you the strength and the might. You'll have to learn from a drop or a flight, and remember, success not come overnight. Use your experience and get stronger. Every time TV tell them control them anger, Charlie Bubbles tell them to be stronger. Use your experience and get stronger. Don't sit around in regret any longer. Be careful how you use your anger. Let not the pain make you bitter, just better. System set away some time, make youth feel they have to go do crime. Living their dreams and true purpose behind. Persistent, but still them can't find. Just exploitation, them no see the sign. Seek in your heart, follow your own mind. Do what you love and get rewards in time. Use your experience. Use your experience and get stronger. Don't sit around in regret any longer. Be careful how you use your anger. Let not the pain make you bitter, just better. Failure, a natural part of success. Have to make mistake before you learn to do your best. Oh, no make mistake, I try nothing new yet. Mostly live them whole life in regret. Aim low, reach it. So, in writing my first book in 2007 and launching it at the Up on the Roof Club in New Kingston, coming in the newspapers and doing articles in the different papers and magazines abroad, like the Reggae exclusive magazine, which featured on the front page. There was a lot of things, you know, and I'm a person who keep events, so Charlie Bubbles has always been one who work hard for dub poetry, keeping like even events like Creative Energy motivational show in New Day All Age, where I donated 10,000 to the school for them to get a new stove, and I used to volunteer with the New Day All Age school and do dub poetry with them, bringing them to the JCDC festival, and also going over to Vaz Prep and other schools and doing the program of bringing the motivation. And there was a program called MDC, Youth Development Corporation and Halfway Tree, where we used to go and spread the message of love to the youth. So I was always doing that youth program and spreading that love before I went to Canada and started doing the workshops with the youths there. And in Trinidad, I went to Laventille and speak to the youths in the ghetto there, you know, bring that message of change, of upliftment to the youth right there in Laventille. And Charlie Bubbles doesn't just speak to one type of people. people. Like my message transcends to all different people, all different races, all different type of thinking people, because it's all about a positive motivational message that comes with a strong rhythm. When I'm performing with a bands or performing with that live music or acoustic or just vibing with a drum or a rhythm, it's always dub poetry, message, vibe, feeling, you know. Big up yourself. Irie Times, vibes. Charlie, Bobos, Inspirator, International. Big up to all the massive all over the world that has tuned in and has checking out Irie Times and this Black History Month special with Charlie, Bobos, Inspirator, International.
Yes, man, back on spot, evolution of dub poetry. Now there are also some other poets too that contributed greatly to the development of the art form. They were like the Curtis Myers, there was Lloyd Richardson, Music Youth, Eva Garden. Eva Garden was also at the drama school too. So there were a whole bunch of dynamic poets out there doing their thing. Now, when it comes to female poets, you have the D.B. Young, who is the daughter of Anita, who I would say is the most liberated of the contemporary poets. Now, this poet, unique, you know, and this is very important. All of the poets, the Jamaican dub poets, have their own little uniqueness about their style and the way they do their poetry. Now this man, he experiments with singing like a tonal vibrations to his work. He's very deep. And he's also a graphic artist. So I guess this also comes into his poetry to use it skillfully when you hear poems like World of Africa, and you know, and stuff like that. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome none other than Jabez.
Greetings, my name is Yabez, formerly Jabez. I'm a performance poet, but my colleagues call me a dub poet because of my lyrical delivery being so different from the stoicness of a spoken word artist. My lines are written with rhymes with a musical tone when read on the page or when performed a cappella. But I often perform with live music with a band. And I'm not restricted to just reggae. I perform with jazz music and I also perform with R&B music. I first delved into dub poetry while attending the Edamame School of Arts at the Cultural Training Center in Jamaica. My colleagues were attending the Jamaica School of Drama next door, and that's where I hung out. The youth had no passion for performances. I consider myself to be introverted. I had no desire to be in front of an audience on top of a stage. But that all changed one night in 1985 when I went over to the art school. I left the art school and went over to the drama school. I was sitting on a wall next to the entrance to the drama school, overlooking the amphitheater where there was a show being held, including the likes of Eddie Fitzroy, Muta Baruka, Jean Binta Breeze. The set with Jean Binta Breeze and Muta Baruka particularly gripped my attention because I've never seen any live performance like that before. Yes, I was aware of Linton Kwesi Johnson, Mikey Smith, Oko Onora, and Poets in Unity, but I've never seen them perform live. And seeing these two poets performing live made a big impression on me. I actually told myself, I can do that. Because what they were doing, they were actually using words to paint pictures to tell their story in the same way I was doing at the art school, using lines and colors and shapes to paint my pictures. But the dramatic way in which they did it, their expressiveness, their movements, it was just simply amazing, and it enlightened me, and I was inspired to be a dub poet. The following Tuesday, I signed up to do a poem with the Poetry Society of Jamaica, which had a monthly meeting at the School of Drama inside on the indoor theater. I went, I did my piece, and apparently I was endorsed by them because they elected me to be the coordinator for the next couple of months. And I was tasked with finding venues for poets to perform and be paid. Listen, poets weren't being paid to perform on shows at the time. Poets were being used as fillers, and it really pissed me off. So I went out and I made contacts with libraries. I made contacts with the University of the West Indies, with Institute of Jamaica, and I started to get gigs. And I started to get checks, $2,000, $3,000 at the time when the dollar was 8 to 1. So the money was good. You know, I usually work with a collective of 10 poets, you know, including the likes of myself, Umbala, Nabi Natural, Cherry Natural, Tommy Ricketts, Pilo, Clyde Dermeyer Brooks, just to name a few, the drummer Calvin. You know, we raised Dickens over Kingston. We were making a name for ourselves. Yes, Safari. Yes. But sooner or later, I migrated due to family obligations. I came to South Florida and I met Malachi Smith for the first time. He took me under his wing, showed me the ropes. We performed on some big shows in Miami, you know, big artists, Dennis Brown, Burning Spear, all of these artists and things. Yes, so we made a name for dub poetry in South Florida at the time. A little while after that, I had to leave South Florida, moved to New York City to start my life over. Here in New York, I opened for the likes of Lucky Dube, Linton Kwesi Johnson. I ran into Oku Onuru. I got him to be featured on a presentation which I did in Brooklyn because I was trying to reinvent myself, some of the things I was doing with the Poetry Society in Jamaica. I was trying to do the same thing in Brooklyn. I also got got Malachi to come up and we did some shows as well. I ran into Jamaican youth on the street one day. His name is E. Wayne, and he led an organization called the Caribbean Cultural Theatre Company. And pretty much they became my platform for a lot of activities I did in New York, in Brooklyn. The high point of it is that I got nominated and I got awarded with some citations from the state of New York, the City Council of New York, for my contribution to arts and culture, Caribbean literature in New York City and in the state of New York. Sooner or later I ran into problems again. I had to go underground. But then I re-emerged. Then I had to go underground. Then I re-emerged, but I never stopped recording the poetry. Welcome to my mind. Make yourself at home and be kind. Broken glass on the floor. Lose your egos at the door. Cobwebs on the walls. And drumming down the halls. Enter with wisdom. Don't waste my time. My kingdom's no space for saviors in frames, just hammers and knives, blood, sweat and tears. Along I graffiti alley catching ass for years. Welcome to my mind. Make yourself at home and be kind. Broken glass on the floor. Lose your eagles at the door. Cobwebs on the wall. And drumming down the aisle. Welcome to my mind. Make yourself at home and be kind. Broken glass on the floor. Lose your egos at the door. Cobwebs on the walls. And drumming down the halls. Welcome to my mind. Make yourself at home and be kind. Broken glass on the floor. Lose your egos at the door. Cobwebs on the walls. R's and drumming down the R's. Enter with wisdom, don't waste my time. My kingdom's no space for saviors in frames. Just hammers and knives, blood, sweat and tears, along I graffiti cobwebs on the walls, and drumming down the R's. Enter with wisdom, don't waste my time. My kingdom's no space for saviors in frames. Just hammers and knives, blood, sweat and tears, along I graffiti alley catching ass for years. Welcome to my mind. Make yourself at home and be kind. Broken glass on the floor. Lose your egos at the door. Cobwebs on the walls. And drumming down the halls. Hear a soul crying for dreams untold. Desires trying to unfold. Mama cry, why don't farm fool? Teacher screaming survival rule. Baby cry, daddy, where are you? Hear a daddy sigh, I love you, boo. Welcome to my mind. Make yourself at home and be kind. Broken glass on the floor. Lose your egos at the door. Cobwebs on the walls. And drumming down the halls. Here, a single mom wash her hands, close her gate and berate her bitter state. Just like a sad rock song breakups create when good wood burn out of the fire. Hissing and popping just like emotions from desire. Welcome to my mind. Make yourself and be kind. Broken glass on the floor. Lose your egos at the door. Cobwebs on the wall. And drumming down the hall. The sound of the voice, of the wind, of the songs, of the birds that they tune in on my head. Kicking with the rhythm, moving with the beat, smiling my teeth. Oh God. Welcome to my mind. Make yourself at home and be kind.
In the evolution of dub poetry, we've been making some discoveries, finding some gems. This young group from Jamaica, Dreads, exciting dub poetry trio. Ladies and gentlemen, Dreads.
Dreads. Drums, rhythm, expression, dynamic, zeal.
See what I mean?
I am Oren Meikle.
I am Ronique Lindsay.
And I am Rasheem Shepard.
And we are
Dreads.
The poetry for me is expressing myself, is a way of being with my family, and it's fun. Like Rasheem creates something, Ronnie creates something, I create something, and we put it together. You see the magic we create, and then we release it now and put it out there for someone to hear it. It's a beautiful moment, and we inspire somebody, and that is the poetry for me. Yeah.
I don't talk, I write. And for me, the poetry creates an escape route. So like you're here with these two guys, Rashima came up with something, and Mika add something to this, and then we put it together as Mika said, and it's really magical. And then Rani draw the drum, and we build and we debate. Mika, you have played there and me, and that's a whole vibe. And then when you're comfortable, you don't feel judged. Anything you say, we just work with it and we put it together. Even if it don't make sense at the start, trust me, by the time we finish, it's
amazing.
Like we'll plan it a long time, and that for me is what makes dub poetry what it is.
Dub poetry. Words put together to express oneself to the beat of a drum. Dub poetry. Each one teach one. A means of communication. Dub poetry. Sharing your life experience. And that is dub poetry for Rasheem Shepard. Now, dub poetry back in the way back in time, the poetry is referred to a cry from the ghetto. For example, hey, Mr. Government,
Come here, come talk to we.
want to know what a going in our country? Who authorize you to lift the subsidy in them your hard times when everybody hungry, everything a raise except people's salary? Dog poetry, yes man. And then Dreads take it and we kind of switch it up, and then we switch from the Nyabingi rhythm, we switch from the slow and we speed it up a little, and we talk about how to live in we just talk about our experience and we share it with you guys and other friends' experience, and we share those experience, and we do happy poems, you know, so it's not just a cry from the ghetto anymore, it's about love. One happy day this girl intervene, nice and beautiful
Like an African queen.
natural ear to the shoulders mixed with sheen, and when she smile, my God, the whole world a beam.
Sure.
Yeah man, love poetry. And Dread's artwork, it's so different, it's so unique, and it tie in with theatre because we take everything, the drums, the rhythm, the expression, and we put all of that together and we use our theatre experience because each of us, we do some acting now and then, you know, and we use that experience. So when you look at Dreads on a stage, you will not only see one of them there, yeah, but actually you will see that you come alive, you will see that character walking, and you in the audience will want to become that youth, and you can share that experience because we let the story come alive, you know. Dreads, different. High five?
High five.
Yeah man, 5 fingers. See the thumb?
Very big fingers.
Different. The one
With that twist.
the one where the government now
go get this. Sure.
Yes, I give thanks. Dreads, drums, rhythm,
Expression,
expression,
dynamic,
zeal.
Poor soul. What we know?
We're going to eat in style.
As they go far, who's laughing PG far? When me going food my belly tonight. Why Mary, she them all. 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 Miss Girl Turkey Daddy. Miss Girl Turkey Daddy. Miss Girl Turkey Daddy. Miss Girl Turkey Daddy.
offering forever. Love every crevice and every corner. Me hear man a talk about them on them visa. London visa, American visa. I just visa. It look like them catch fine fever, but they will never know what they're missing. In a Jamaica, all them would want to go offering figure time forever. They're missing the ackee and the saltfish. Me no know no other food nice like this. Missing the festival celebration. Missing the right reggae vibration. Irie, yes, so feel Irie. For we glad no born and this a cock country. Irie, yes, so feel Irie. For we glad no born and this a cock country. It was 1998 World Cup in France. Yeah. And the reggae boys went to make use of the chance. Play a 3 game and say, we're back on the plane. Back on the plane. In Jamaica. Back on the Yo. So what are you about that? What are you about that? Beat Japan, and that's a credit to win. Oh, Irie, yes, so feel Irie. For we glad you're born, and it's a cup country. Irie, yes, so feel Irie. For we glad you're born, and it's a cup country. For we glad you're born, and it's a cup country. For we glad you're born, and it's a country. When it comes to the east, we get even closer. When it comes to the east, we get even closer. When it comes to the east, we get even closer. Even a cheese with a such and dinner. Hey, wanna exchange people that have fun, but some man give until them give the wrong one. Who me no want about them ease a come, cause if you can't take fun, do a go give up. Irie, yes, so feel Irie. For me glad you born and it's a cup country. Irie, yes, so feel Irie. For me glad you born and it's a cup country. Summertime, yeah man. Summertime, let me get my suntan. Summertime, turn on my name. Summertime, woo. Summertime, pour some more boat. Come to our island, come crawl up on our white sand. Come enjoy our suntan. Hey, they come for the music, the vibes can raise. They come here for reggae, some face. Not to mention medical rubber exhibit the greatest. So Irie, yes, so feel Irie. For we glad you're born and it's a cup country. Irie, yes, so feel Irie. For we glad you're born and it's a cup country. Christmas time, ho ho ho. Christmas time, ho 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 ho. Christmas time. When you understand about what I've done for the face, and Santa never stop in on the chimney. Santa they stop up in on my mango tree. Red with the rose and sorry la boy and a little kid in them fields full of a slide. Only one place give one give I. Only one place, only one place, only one place give one give I. Only one place, only one place, only one place give one give I. I will lick a island in the sun, yeah. I will lick a island in the sun, yeah. I will lick a island in the sun. Now me say Irie, 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 say Irie, 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 say Irie, 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 say Irie, Irie, say Irie, boom. Just life on the E. Give thanks.
Welcome back, man, to the evolution of dub poetry. Now, this man is an intellectual. Man from Westmoreland, too. From the district where I was born, Delflani. 2 great dub poets from Delflani. Ain't that something? Yeah, man, Westmoreland is blessed. Also, the parish of Peter Tosh, great poet to a musician. But this man is also an intellectual. Went to Micah Teachers College, did some teaching, actually went on the street. Some kind of drop out of society, actually went on the street because he wanted to immerse himself into what was happening at that level in the society. And that's important things again about the dub poets, because we commentate so much and try to capture so much of what happens in the lower strata of the society amongst the oppressed and dispossessed of the society. So this poet actually dropped out of college, went on the street. He was able to finish up his education. Now he teaches and he lectures in Canada. So Dermai Brooks, Clyde Brooks, Lillian Allen, Anita Stewart, and a whole bunch of other poets in Canada did a remarkable thing with our dub poetry there. They actually got the Canadian government, listen to this, one of the largest, richest, and most influential country on planet Earth, to recognize dub poetry as a profession. Yeah, man, clap them. Jamaican poets, Jamaican dub poets did that. Not poets who write like Shakespeare and Chaucer. Jamaican dub poets actually did that.
So this week we talk a lot about culture and stuff. Black history and need for racial pride. Now I hit you with this one. Called Color TV because you know we grew up with black and white and so forth from back in the day. Color TV is coming. You will hear what I say. See? Me born come see. Black. And it didn't see many people like me. Therefore, I didn't really adore the idea of TV with color. For I heard that people like me are often called colored. Thus, I figured colored me, colored TV, colorful simile. I want to see more people like me on my color TV. I want to see more people like me on my color TV. Color TV, color TV. It highlights too much wine on my color TV. On my color TV. I am tired to see sales slanted capitalist camera. Paparazzi, pop machinery, celebrity, TV, reality, symmetry, mimicry, sophistry, semantics, slick rhetoric, cheap words like statistics, socioeconomics, Eurocentric, ethnospecific, color optics on my color TV, on my color TV, on my color TV. I want to see more people like me on my color TV, color TV, color TV, my HD, color TV. Seems to be color HD. I intend to get it fixed, to tune more colors into the mix. I can't wait until the next Summer Olympics to see more people like me on my color TV. I want to see more people like me on my color TV. On my color TV. You know, on my color TV. I want to see 12 months of Black history by the people who look like me. Color TV, color TV. On my color TV, I want to see Black Empowerment TV as BET ought to be televisions featuring more people like me on my color TV. Come again, I want to see more people like me on my color TV. Color TV, color TV. My HD color TV has a high definition color problem. So I clicked it off one night to write this outspoken poem in black and white. Thank you, boy.
4 years ago, an evolution began. I commenced the annual Jamaican Nomadic School Poetry Festival, where Jamaican poets from all over Jamaica and the diaspora teamed together, and we went into schools and different institutions and shared poetry with the children, and the children shared their poetry in turn with us. We have seen enormous growth in the development of children, school children, writing poetry on the island. They've even started writing clubs. They started one at Champion College, one at Michael, and we know that high school in Westmoreland, Mannings, started one. So it's really exciting. So this is a 2-week tour that takes place the first 2 weeks of November annually. I will be back with a bang this year. Last year we took a hiatus because of COVID.
Jaja was the first dub poet because in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was dubbed. And then see what we have here. Jaja was the first poet.
Write and chant the poetry with the J and Escant.
So hey big man, now the little pitney. Go on with the sweetie, you can't shoot me. Take your own care and go on when you walk up. Her, me no wanna drive from you. Her, me no wanna drive from you.
Go down the road and make a little jog. In my hand, me I want be my rad. Some people see me, I say that my mad. I'm a jeer them want me bad.
I love poetry. I like listening to it and writing my own. And this really helped me see other people's and see ways in which I could alter my own genre of poetry. And it also actually really inspired me to write different types of poems outside of my comfort zone. And I think that next year, perhaps, I will be sharing at least one of my own.
Don't relegate my glory to 28 days. I am 365 black. Look in the eye, little girl. The most I can lie. Most sweet like sugar, full of sunfly. So don't believe a thing mouth say. Look in the eye.
And of course, we need support to make it happen. We've been basically doing it on our own since the inception, and we need the community because we see the positivity that comes out of initiative like this. We provide opportunities for the kids. We even went into Trenchtown and had a wonderful session with like babies, real young children, and they came alive just listening to the poetry, feasting on the poetry. So of course, to let it grow, because we intend to start doing an anthology and probably doing some recording. We do workshops too, in addition to the poets performing with teams with the University of the West Indies and Department of Literature and English, and we have commenced doing annual writing workshops. So again, we are empowering the children of the society, the poets of the society, and we are creating opportunities. So we need you on board, we need your support, right? Support the movement. Poets are the conscience of the society. This poet is a dynamic Rastaman. He some said best. He gave the poems like Community, them good old days. Now he has a monster poem that's getting extensive airplay all over the world. Crime. Help me and give some love to the one and only, the Ras from St. Best, Richie Innocent.
Well, I just good food, good mood, no pollution. Fresh air, good vibes, no distraction. Inspiration, cooperation, and meditation. I a full joy creation. I just up in the hills me day, and I give Jah the reverence. Mother Nature the in my presence. Lush green environment, where there's a difference. Me nah have no time for your fear, no violence. I just in the hills me day, and I give Jah the preference. Rich vegetation the in my presence. Countryside, where there's a difference. Me nah have no time for involving a violence. The hustling and the bustling, me left that to the city. Me no inna the dog eat dog mentality. Animalistic lifestyle, that I know me. Concrete civilization and for me. From you go say farming, me tell them say gimme. A hills me there where vegetation pretty. Enough cultivation, the crop I get ready. Coronation market are the mother for the city. Cause when they get to youths hungry, them angry. Rural to urban for the youths, them all are medi. Because me want the youths mind for steady. I just up in the hills me there and I give ya the reverence. Mother nature the in my presence. Lovely environment where there's a difference. Me nah have no time for ya think about violence. Many miles away from the city. Solid advice yo from Marcus Garvey. Hills me there and I listen to the birds. Me nah have no time for rat race, broke down me nerves. Ja know me needs, I know where me deserve. Inna the hills me feel please, and my mind at ease. Especially in evil times like these. And enough cool breeze coming from the trees. The mountains surround me as if to protect me. The trees around me as if they might hush me. I can feel all the greenery that touch me. Ja earth are the fullness, so why make them rush me? Me nah go make them lifestyle crush me. I just up in the hills me there, and I give Ja the reverence. Mother nature the in my presence. Countryside, where there's a difference. Me nah have no time for involving a violence. In the hills me there, from whence come my helper. My mountain, my fountain, my health and strength. And that's where me go and go seek myself. And find out that my purpose must be something else. Cause nighttime me sit down and take in the moonshine. And the darkness and the stars and the peony valley we combine. And a tranquility embrace my mind. The folks around me are so fine and kind. Favors are granted without a dime. And me nah have no time for fear. Me nah have no time, you hear? Me nah have no time for fear. Me nah have no time for fear, no crime. I just up in the hills me there, and I give Ja the reverence. Mother nature the in my presence. Lush green environment where there's a difference. Me nah have no time for involving a violence. I in the hills me there, and I give Ja the preference. Countryside where there's a difference. Me nah have no time. Me nah have no time. Me nah have no time. Me nah have no time for fear. No fear, no violence.
Yes, this is dub poetry, and this is the way we do it. We speak about the ills and we speak solution, dubbing out the negative and dubbing in the positive. And it is honor that we respect the elders who are before us, the icons who are before us, and have always been there leading the charge. Blessings. This is what we are doing, and this is a part of the mission, and we always keep on this mission. It was Mama Elise Kelly, formerly of IRFM, radio broadcaster of the Easy Skanking Show, who, upon meeting her, she said to me that I'm not telling you what to do, but whenever you speak, your presentation is heard. And person are gravitated and drawn to what you're saying. And then I decided that I'm gonna go full speed ahead. And I've decided ever since to do dub poetry. With no regrets. The piece that I'm about to give you now is called The Good Old Days. Because we all know what is going on right now, presently in our world. This is what we are doing. And this is a part of the mission. And we always keep on this mission. It was Mama Elise Kelly, formerly of IRFM, radio broadcaster of the Easy Skanking Show, who, Upon meeting her, she said to me that I'm not telling you what to do, but whenever you speak, your presentation is heard and person are gravitated and drawn to what you're saying. And then I decided that I'm going to go full speed ahead. And I've decided ever since to do dub poetry with no regrets. The piece that I'm about to give you now is called The Good Old Days. Because we all know what is going on right now, presently in our world. Remembering this. Are the good old days, man, I remember my friend. Wondering if they'll ever come back again. Especially when we are living in a present world that is saturated with so much problems and so many homes are broken. Golden years, man, I remember, my friend. When them are going to come back again. In the olden golden days, life was much better because the people them used to love them one another from both town and the country area. Because them time there, the bond was much stronger and everyone was them brother and sister keeper. But it's like yesteryears and nowadays differ because the love disappear used to bind us together. Remember the days of manners and courtesy when you could have never disrespect the elderly, much less the thing for y'all not tell them howdy. Remember when the grandparents used to tell a story about brother Tukuma and brother Nancy. Remember when we help each other in the community, even helping hand, and the hand was willingly. Remember when nobody never died violently. But nowadays, at the order of the day in our society, we grandparents used to call me and tell we sit down. Words like love, share, care, respect, and God, we came from Granny Town. When all the days were near, grandmother said, come, go give this to Miss Mia and Ezekiel and run. Tell them after when Christmas or Independence come, and for Easter, she never did no cheese and bun when she give us gift her food she reap from her ground, and in return she get her a nice bowl of rundown. Them time for help people, it was fun to see a job in the community well done. But nowadays, me don't know where this American turn. Cause as you ask a favor, a man said dollars have to run. Granny used to bake bami and pudding from bitter cassava. Had the backyard kitchen where party sit down and grate her. Make a sham from all can where she beat in a mortar. And them time there, my grandparents was stronger. I wonder if you realize how them used to live longer. And a big respect used to go to the farmer. Because them never did use the fertilizer. But a be a radioactive genetic engineer food man have a swallow. And I drink the most artificial flavor. And it a give you pressure. And it a give you sugar. I wonder if you don't realize I give you cancer. At the good old days, man, I remember my friend wondering if they'll ever come back again. Blessed love. So, in the evolution of dub poetry, and as we say, dub poetry renaissance, this is our mission, and this is what we are here to do. To do what we have to do, and to do what we must do. By getting to the minds of the people, getting the people to take action for positive transformation. Dub poetry, like Malachi Smith would say, it is the conscience of the people. Hence, the dub poetry must do what we must do And we must do what we have to do regardless of what is taking place. So we must first be the change that we want to see, and to be the change, we must lead from the front. We are the dub poets. We are a part of the evolution of dub poetry. Now this piece is called Community. Whether the home, the church, the school, the workplace, the world community, we are all one community. Now it's working time, the real working time, to free ourselves with communities and free our minds. Think cohesiveness and joint effort. Work to make your community be of great worth. So come with community, come, run, come, unity, come with community. The community, they are so for all of we, so come with community, come, forward, come, unity, come with community, for this development, come with community, come make we walk with we hand in a hand. Unity, community mean we strong. With the spirit of community, we can't go wrong. We need to sort out ourselves to carry out the plan. Organize ourselves together, carry out the plan. So we can realize our ambition. Community people make we take a stand. Forward, cause we have a role to play for success and harmony start from today. So come with community, come, run, come, unity. Come with community. The community they are so for all of we. So come with community. Come forward, come unity. Come with community. For this development, come with community. Community, we make the future brighter. Collective energy, we make the work get lighter. If we need result, we must be initiator. Community people be motivator. Community people make we empower self. And stop the culture, tear down self. What we done, make we do it with self. Build with self instead of violence and a kill with self. We need new thinking, community. Instead of division and animosity, we need vision and better strategy for influence move to action community. Make we work for the community, make it be the cause. No live pan it now go work and pan because. In every unit you have to find flaws. Community, respect the rules and laws, but you have to know so we now have no time to pass. Be a part of the team, wherever you live, contribute. Do something, be constructive. Know your rules, know your function. Try to be a bridge before you be your element were destructive. Me begging you, try your best to be positive. Your time and your skill, something you can give. Volunteer to share professional knowledge, and that is the only way we're gonna be progressive. So come with community, come, run, come, unity, come with community. The community, they are so for all of it. So come with community, come forward, come unity, come with community. For this development, come with community.
This was awesome. What a feature, what a concept. The evolution of dub poetry. It was my pleasure hosting it, and of course I have a big up IRaTimesTV.com, Judith Falloon Reed and Michael Brown and Dreamer Riley, wonderful people. I also want to say, before we do the final set of performance, I just want to mention a few key players who helped in the development, and I want to mention Professor Mervyn Morris. Right, he did a lot working with Oku, with myself, and also Mikey Smith. He did a lot of work. There was Dr. Norval Edwards, who is now on the Faculty of Arts and Literature, something like that at UWI Mona. He did a lot of work with Oku. Of course, we have to mention Kamau Brathwaite, who was one of the persons who worked with the earlier set of poets. And of course, there was Elaine Wint, who did this fantastic program, Groundings and JVC, where every week you'd feature a poet for 1 week, and he did a lot for a whole bunch of poets, including yourself. What a wonderful concept. Father, you can try me now, but me not sit down any longer and just recite our Father. I want answer. Tell I if judgment already comes so I can make plan to deal with I future. borders and ocean, fence and land, step in our headspace. I can't understand how you create this mess where we live in perpetual distress, while some own everything while committing the most sin, while blacks rubbing out their knees praying to get to heaven from this prison that runs concentric circles. Why you don't strike the wicked with lightning and thunder? Right on your nose they plunder, bulldozing and taking away land. Didn't you make this for all your children? Why you so silent in this mayhem? We can't take this no more. Was there complicity in making us victims? Cause we washing river, scrub until our bones become rock, yet we receive lashes, gunshot, headline news, denial of application, denial of benefits. We're the fastest, but them say we're not fit. We can't take this no more. Mothers and sisters rape, 400 years, 400 years. 400 years, do you hear their tears? Are you move when they die? Can't overstand no matter what I try. Why are we killing off each other? Over with your name is Shiva or Buddha, Allah or Jehovah, Yeshua, Jesus the Christ, Peter, Paul, Barabbas, Arachi. You take it easy while we bury our flesh continually. Don't die, no. Global warming disaster. The poor asks for answer, yet champion battle of pop, and there's a gulf between the wages gap. Why should we suffer here, Father, just to go to heaven to drink milk and honey? Father, I need an answer. I need an answer. We can't take this no more. We can't take this no more. Father, Father, I need an answer, Father. Me nah leave your gate until I get an answer. Father, nah leave your gate till we get an answer. Borders in ocean, fence and land. Stepping in my headspace I can't understand. Blue morning. This blue morning can't be climbing halfway up the side of a mountain on my way to heaven, singing the same blue song, waiting for daylight to come to sit down face to face and have a brain to brain talk with Master God at the conference table. I cut a deck of cards and I prips down a yard and I see trouble. I see Bunny Livingstone get stoned. I see bodies sitting on the edge of the edge, just waiting to be pushed over the edge. I see hearts failing as fast as driver's license expire. Undertaker smiling, business looking up higher. I crisscross a globe, trying to ease the load. I look down. We're down in the Persian Gulf, and I see millions of people chained together dead. Down in the valley of the Nile, I see the dragon of death breathing fire. I say Armageddon, my brother. I say man a bomb man, man a missile man, man a eat man meat, man a drink man blood. I see cruise missiles and scud. I hear a terrible explosion. I see black rain falling from the sky. I hear the scream of babe and slugging as they all perish and die. I raise up the mountain, trying to get to heaven. A ball up Master God look down. The same place in the River Jordan that John baptized the only begotten son. Them just drop another big bomb. God didn't answer. So I keep on treading and looking. I look down in Central and South America, all I see the filthy, wealthy, misery, poverty, armies and gorillas grabbing their share of power. In El Salvador, I see gorillas attacking once more. Down in an American chopper with a missile donated by Russia, while all around people live in squalor and babies are dying daily from disease and hunger. I stop to pray. I say, Master God, help mankind today. God didn't answer. So I keep on treading and looking. I look down in the USA and winter race through my mind. In Miami condition, no pretty, no pretty, no pretty. Hispanics burn and loot, we know the blacks ball out to know just a feel what we have feel long time ago. Noriega in jail, convicted for telling their tears of tears. Reverend Sims can't preach in peace and in pulpit unless he water down him sermon to suit the old hypocrites in Jackson Hospital. A poor old sufferer, unable to afford surgery for a football-sized tumor passed away, while the nation spend millions bailing out banks every day. In the streets, I say blacks are blacks, Hispanics are counter-attack, whites staring in the mirror asking, do we have anything to do with that? In New York, I see a black mayor. In Virginia, a black governor, so we take one step forward, they look like we end up taking 10 behind the brother. I start to cry. Oh Lord, why Lord? Why we blacks suffer so? Why would we plant our seeds it harder to grow? Why when we win we lose? Why we always end up making the eyewitness news? Our Father, thou art in heaven, can you please remake the world our side no evil? I didn't answer. I keep on treading and looking and singing. We are going heaven. We are going. We know we will. We know we will. I look down in Africa via Haiti. And I see man just chop off man head, throw gas on them and light them on fire. I see millions stranded at the crossroads, so they're waiting for a bus to take them across the river. I hear the ghosts of grandfather Mandela still trying to talk some sense in them oppressor. I tell the ragamuffins to hold the strain. In order to liberate yourself, you must feel pain. I finally get to the mountain top. No God, no conference table, just me alone. I'm a big bag of trouble. Walking the middle of a long, long hill and gully road. Pockets empty, hungry, I walking, I'm like ghosts in a cemetery. Welcome to the land of fantasy. Down below, halfway up a tree, Mr. G and JB blind grooving in your mind. Dennis the Menace Revolution. Out in the streets, murder, 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 gunman, drugsman, policeman, politician, musician, businessman. They run and get vicious. Afraid to take a step. I start to fish and pull the catch to the wind off my mind. God is me. You see those work them said, how come you not help we? I no suffer, we no suffer. I no try, we no try, but we no get no blind. We talk through the mic and we get a fight. We up the saga and we biting bullets on ya. I keep on walking. And I meet up fire. Him eyes them wild like Nebuchadnezzar. Him say we going too fast. We moving too fast. We traveling too fast, the system I go crash to run. Him say, aya. It's long time I tell the man them, stop rape land. I tell man, respect woman. I tell them equal rights and justice, end the parties and politics. I tell them Russia is Russia, America is America, Jamaica is a lamb to the slaughter, just like Port Africa. Unite, make we build Anya. Unite, make we build Anya. Unite, make we build Anya. And say, Aya. Them call the criminals. Them give funerals who left. Get a fight. But him say just start here. Him say just start here. Whole heap of body I go permanent abroad. But him say the man was a faith here. Whole heap of blood I go run a yard. But him say the man must have faith. Look! Nothing can stop the rain from falling. None can stop the sun from shine. Rise up, stop ball. Action. Still walking. From Africa to Jamaica. From Jamaica to Miami. Still hoping, still waiting. It's a prophecy fulfill. Of course, we couldn't have done this without the great hospitality of Island Space Caribbean Museum. The only one of its kind in the entire world. Thanks, team, for the wonderful job you're doing. We celebrate you and we embrace you. Thanks, Iratime TV, again for this wonderful concept of showing another of the unique art forms from Jamaica, the evolution of dub poetry. I'm going to close out with 2 love poems. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special request. This rain brings me back to a night when there was no moon. We huddled around candlelight in my small back room. Ernest Smith went to our heads like a shot of rum. We tickled, we giggled, we laughed. We had so much fun singing Love Won't Let Me Wait as the rain just came tumbling. The rain played jazz in our heads while we danced rumba on my kaya bed. Nothing came between us, not even skin. 2 broke pocket young lovers. We found a way to win. We tickled, we giggled, we laughed. We had so much fun singing Love Won't Let Me Wait as the rain just came tumbling. I wrote her a poem. That dark summer night, I couldn't see the pages, but her lips told me the lyrics were right, so I surrendered mind, body, all through my hands, swimming and splashing down to my far. We tickled, we giggled, we laughed. We had so much fun singing Love Won't Let Me Wait as the rain just came tumbling. I was 16 then, now I'm much more. I was a rich man then, tonight I'm so poor. Me alone in this car, listening to the rain, sweetie alone, a yard doing the same. In this land of plenty, you lose everything, but I'll always hold those memories, cause they're a gold mine deep within. We tickled, we giggled, we laughed. We had so much fun, singing Love Won't Let Me Wait. As the rain just came tumbling down, as the rain just came tumbling down. As I write, tears blur the page. I feel like an actor lost on stage. Rainmaker, please, 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 please stop the rain, stop the rain, stop the rain, stop the rain. This flood is about to drive me insane. I'll do anything to go back in time just to regain my peace of mind to the coals of my back room, playing games with my magic broom while sweetie eyes blaze, 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 blaze like wildfire. We flew higher and higher and higher and higher and higher.
We had so much fun singing love for them the way as the rain just came down the love, love, love.
Jesus theme, what a sight to behold. Nubian princess, as fine as pure gold. Went down a yard without a plan, just taking a break from a situation. Had no conceived intention until a royal rose apple forced my hand. Her Royal Highness firm in her Nubian skin, standing in a rosemary bush garden, gleaming, holding the sun in her hair, her glory shining everywhere. Like an African rainbow caressing a mountain peak, had to rise to the occasion before I speak. How you make her, Master God? For this visitation I am glad. And nothing Megan Vanilla, Master God, reveal her secrets. I want her bad. I go and paint her across the sky right below, Master God. I for protection night and day, keep the predators at bay. How you make her, Master God? When you put in her, Master God, she had all of Queen Isis' secrets. Athena couldn't match her wits, dazzling me to her magic wand. Wonder should I dip or should I stand? She calculated me before I spoke, said her love was no joke. Won't compete with anyone. If you are taken, move along. I tried to walk away, but my heart wasn't leaving. Put my foot in a gear and my heart starts seizing, 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 seizing. I go and paint her across the sky right below, Master God. I for protection night and day. Blow, Dean, blow. Blow like you never blow before. Version galore for sure. Go and take them pan two and give them more car, cause I'm a troubadour. New American princess in my garden, gleaming. Your Highness, I proposed, strip me of my fleshy robes, dip me in your mineral springs, wash away my transgressions and sins, close the door, lock the window. I am committing to you forever. Let me glow like the banks of the Zambezi. Nubian princess never leaves me, comes what may I do. She said, take my hand, I feel the same way too. I go and paint her across the sky right below, Master God. I for protection night and day, keep the predators at bay. How you make her, Master God? What you put in her, Master God? And not Megan Vanilla, Master God, reveal her secrets. I want her bad. And you put in her, Master God. And not Megan Vanilla, Master God, reveal her secrets. I want her back. She says she no mind, for a poet is hard to find. Amalekai is one of a kind, so she no mind the giant is line. I go and paint her across the sky right below, Master God. I for protection night and day, keep the predators at bay. How you make her, Master God? Where you put in her, Master God? And not Megan Vanilla, Master God, reveal her secrets about her. How you make her, Master God? For this visitation, I I'm glad. I nothing make all vanilla massacre. Reveal our secrets, I want them bad.